Hi everyone, my name is Rose, and if you clicked on this, then you are probably going to study abroad, and I think that's so awesome, really awesome. And I just wanted to give you a couple tips to help make your study abroad as smooth as possible. So here's BB and me going to tell you some tips. So some background information on me. I've studied abroad 3 times. I did 2 short-term study abroad and 1 long-term. My 2 short terms were both in Europe, Italy, and France, and my long-term was in Malaysia. They were all the best decisions I could have made in my whole life, and I'm so happy that you're choosing to further your education abroad because it's definitely the best decision you're going to make in your college career and you won't regret it. So for my first tip, I thought that I would stress to you not to bring everything in your wardrobe. This is a huge mistake I think a lot of people make because when you get there, you are gonna buy things and you're gonna run out of space. I would say just put a couple things in your suitcase. You're gonna maybe lose things and you don't wanna worry about all that. Make sure 80% of your suitcase is empty because you're going to fill that up. I mean, it depends on how long you're going for. If you're going for any period of time, you're going to buy things. So make sure your suitcase isn't full to the brim. My second tip, definitely bring a power extension cord and just one of those little adapters. So when you get there, you can plug in the adapter, your extension cord, and have all those outlets for all of your things. You can get your hair blower going and your phone charge and whatever else you need to plug in. I think it's better to do it that way. It's simple, easy, compact. Just to clarify, I was talking about one of these bad boys, and you plug it into the adapter and then you have all of these to plug in all of your stuff. So one of the first things I do, for another tip, as soon as I get to the country I'm going to, I buy a SIM card. Don't waste your time and your money on the stupid things that Verizon and AT&T offer you. You can use your phone in Europe or this or that. It's more expensive. It's ridiculous. You can just make sure you have an unlocked phone. A lot of the phones nowadays are unlocked. I double check and you just pop out your SIM card and you put in a new one when you get to the country, and it's usually a lot cheaper, which is awesome. And yeah, that's that. So ladies, I'm gonna tell you this. If you're in the US and you're going to Europe or you're going to Asia, wherever, if you are uncomfortable changing your feminine hygiene products, definitely bring tampons. In Europe, they're a lot different. Just give it a Google. They don't have the applicators. In Asia, it might be a little more difficult to find what you're looking for. I wish I brought more of my own tampons to Malaysia. Europe, I don't really mind those. Another tip I tell you when you get there is really try to immerse yourself in the culture and with the people of the country you're in. Too many times I've heard friends and colleagues talking about how they studied abroad and they spend too much time with people that they're comfortable with that were from the same country that they were from. Oh, I got scared for a second there. Okay, sorry. And that's natural to want to be around people that you're comfortable with, but it's so important that you get out there and you meet people that live in the country you're going to. You immerse yourself in their culture, you get to know the people, you get to know how they act, why they act that way. And another thing is try to learn the language. Try your best. Don't just go to France and say, I'm going to learn French because I'm going to be in France. You're not going to learn the language that way. You have to take a language class while you're there. You have to try to speak to people. And yeah, people might giggle and laugh, but you know what? People really, really appreciate when you try to speak in their language. Show people that you care. You're not just there to drink beer before you're 21 or to be without your parents, which is awesome, and all these things are fun and cool, but the main point of studying abroad is to really broaden your horizons, as stupid as that sounds. You know, really spend time getting out of your comfort zone because that's where you're going in the first place. Which leads me to my next tip. This is something that I wish I could go back and tell myself. So you're gonna get there and you're gonna be in the honeymoon phase. Everything is going to be cloud 9, amazing, you can't believe your eyes, you're having a great time. That's gonna last for a while, but soon you're gonna start to go down. You're gonna start to get depressed and sad and scared and miserable and sick and you wanna go home. This is a crucial point for you to try to get out of that little funk as soon as possible, because that little funk can really keep you from exploring and having a good time. I spent too much time in that funk while I was in Asia. Granted, Asia is a lot different than Europe and people acclimate differently. So coming from someone who acclimates well, you have to fight out of that as quickly as possible because you're gonna remember the times where you were sitting in your room crying where you could have been out with friends. When you leave, you're gonna wish you were back and you can't go back and you can't do it again. So just try to fight out of it as soon as possible. I think it's so important that people do that. I made a wardrobe change, Mother of Dragons. So like I said, pack as light as you can. Bring feminine hygiene products. Bring an adapter, bring a power cord. Research the weather conditions, make sure you're bringing appropriate clothes. Also research the culture, because you don't want to be too much of a spectacle to people. It's probably best if you're staying in an Islamic country to dress appropriately. And you have to be prepared for things to be completely different than how they are at home. And I really think that everyone should get out there and try to study abroad. It's going to be the best thing that you ever decide to do in college. Follow me on Instagram if you'd like. Check out some of my pictures from my travels. I'll post that below in the video, probably right now under my finger. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up, follow me, and have a nice trip.